Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 9. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Day 19 of marriage, Madison and Alan. So he's finally up and at him, okay, and she's back from the game and telling him that she is disappointed in him. The fact that he didn't come to the game, and then he was talking a little slick. So Alan said when they went out the previous night for his birthday, she was more into her friends, and he thought she had left. She didn't say anything to him, so he was like, oh, okay, if you're going to leave, then I'm going to leave. So then she tells him, no, I was in the restroom. He said he keeps getting the solo Madison, so he was retaliating against her. And basically, it was giving tit for tat. I said, Alan, nah, I get it, but that's kind of petty. Okay, it is. And then he brings up, well, we both have a phone. Well, Alan, why didn't you message her if you thought she left? And girl, why do you keep choosing your damn friends over this man? Like, what is going on? You should have married your friends. Because, I mean, since the time y'all got back to the shared apartment from the honeymoon, you have been with them friends. And you treat him as an afterthought. And then you thought he was going to wake up at the crack of dawn and go throw a damn flag football. Girl, goodbye and good night. Moving forward, Camille and Swaggy T. So they're back at the place and they're talking about the game. She liked the competitive side of him. So he sprained his quads. She's kind of stretching him out a little bit. Now, me personally, I would have had gloves on so I was nowhere near his feet because I can't stand a pair of feet. But that's just me. I hate feet. I hate feet, y'all. Please get them away from me. So after his stretch, they start talking. And he's telling her, you know, what her sister said that really sat with him, you know, about her being a black woman. And it made him see things from her perspective. Child, her sister wasn't talking about nothing. Camille then says, well, you know, it's not a deal breaker. It's not like I want to change you because I actually like you. Okay, well, I don't want to hear anything else about his blackness then, Camille. If you're saying right here that it's not a deal breaker and that you like him and that you don't want to change him, I don't want to hear another thing about it. Okay? I don't want to see anything in any blog or anything else about you and this man's afro. Okay? Or lack thereof. Please, I don't want to hear nothing else about it. I don't give a damn. Camille and I, get yourself together. 21 days of marriage. Carla and Juan. So we see Juan, baby, he got time to bike 30 miles, but not time to compliment his dang on wife. That's because he don't like her. 2 hours later, he's back at the shared apartment and he's telling us that Sleeping Beauty, aka Carla, is just getting up. He's like, yeah, she slept the whole day away. I had a bike ride. I got my hair cut. I went to the mall. Okay, good for you, Juan. And if she was awake, what was she going to get from you? Nothing. Okay, because you give her absolutely nothing. And Carla, you bet not have no kids. You think you're going to be a stay-at-home mom and have children and sleep till 1 o'clock? Baby, you are sadly mistaken. Emem and Ikechi. Baby, when I tell you this couple right here, y'all, the way that I was seething as I watched this episode, Ikechi, baby, I don't know where you came from. You keep talking about the South. We don't claim it, okay? We don't claim you at all. This couple right here really got me mad. Do you hear me? So we're going to get into it in just a minute. So her and her friends, they're out to lunch. Well, her cousin and her friend, they're out to lunch. So Chrissy is telling the other friend about the stupidity of Ikechi calling Emem aggressive. So she said, you know what? It's so much that I want to say, but I'm just not going to say it. So then Emem says, well, listen, I felt like we can't keep talking about surface level things. Like, we got to get into it if we're going to get into it. Questions to get to know each other don't equate aggressive. It doesn't equal that. Now, her friends want to know, how are you going to move forward with him? Like, what are you going to do? Because if he thinks you're aggressive, girl, how you going to work that? She said, I try to talk to him, but he's in bed by 9 and he tells me it's too late to talk. 9 o'clock? My 9-year-old can stay up past 9 o'clock. My 87-year-old grandmother can be up on the phone kikiing past 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, girl, he doesn't like you. Let me tell you something. I remember a long time ago, my grandmother said to me, You know, people can have all the book smarts in the world, but sometimes that common sense ain't worth a damn. And yes, I said worth, W-E-R-F. And MM is giving ain't worth a damn now. You know dang gone well, if you were out in the real world and a man said to you, don't text me past 9 p.m., you wouldn't talk to him ever again. So why are you settling for this just because you're married? I think people think just because I'm married, I have to just settle for any old thing. No, he is to respect you and act like he wants something to do with you. 9 o'clock? Girl, bye. Moving forward. So they want to know how she's going to show up in this marriage now. She honestly says she doesn't know because she doesn't want to be called aggressive. Listen, at this point, hang it up, buttercup. Okay, Ikechi is a jerk and it's a waste of time to try and figure out why he does what he does and says what he says. Calling you aggressive is him telling you exactly how he feels about you. That is how he feels about you. You're worthy of someone accepting you and loving you for who you are. Girl, do not let that man dim your light, because I can already see it slowly starting to happen. Like your demeanor is changing. Your mood is shifting. You're not as upbeat as you were when we first met you. Do not let this man break you down. Camille, I always got to revert back to you because you could have an Ikechi. So leave Swaggy T the hell alone, okay? Because you could very well have a beanie wearing, aggressive calling, passive aggressive poet and don't even know it. Okay, so please leave Swaggy T the hell alone, okay? You're starting to get on my nerves now, girl, but I got to bring it back to you because I'm going to show you what you could have, okay? And you have Swaggy T, okay? Please leave him alone. And Emem, he was never here for the right reasons. He's not here for a wife. I know that you are here for a husband, and I know that you are taking this process seriously, but Ikechi is not here for the right reasons. Michelle and David. So, baby, he's getting off work, and he's going to get his eyebrows done with Michelle. David, leave them brows be. Okay, leave them be. They don't need to be extra sharp and have an arch in them. Just leave them alone. Okay, just leave them a damn alone. So Michelle goes first because they get to her friend's eyebrow salon. Now, I don't know exactly when the friend started doing brows. I don't know if it was right before this episode or what, because the brows didn't look polished to me. Now, I don't know if I just get mine done a certain kind of way, but baby, where is the Definity? Because I could have done this with an eyebrow pencil. Girl said, what now? So anywho, Michelle goes first and she grinning from ear to ear. And David is talking to the brow tech, who is Michelle's childhood friend. She started saying, yeah, you know, I wanted to meet you. David said, well, what should I know about Michelle? Nothing. Stop asking the same question to everyone. What should I know about Michelle? What should I know? You know all there is to know. She wears denim jumpers. She lives a lifestyle. She's paying $23.50 for her apartment. Your friend says she's losing and she's bruising your ego. Leave that woman alone. There's nothing else that you can know about her. But if you want to know something, the woman's about to tell you something that don't make no damn sense. This lady said, well, what I can say is that marriage is really hard. But for Michelle, she's always positive. She's a breath of fresh air. She's a what? Baby, a breath of what? A fresh air of a breath of what? Girl, I'm not about to play with you. Ma'am, how much did Michelle pay you to say that? I'm trying to figure out, was it in exchange for this exposure? Because a breath of, you know what? She might be positive to the people that she likes. And see, that says a lot about a person's character. How you treat a person that you're not attracted to tells me all I need to know. If we go out in public and we go to restaurants and there are servicemen or servicewomen there and you start mistreating them because you don't want to lay down with them and you don't want to sleep with them, then you're not the one for me. Because everybody should be treated with respect. And they teach you that in kindergarten. Meaning Michelle, they do. Moving forward. So then David goes up there. He goes next. He's talking to her friend and now he's saying Michelle has the personality that he wants in a wife. You know what? And on that note, I can no longer feel sorry for David. Not that I completely felt sorry for him to begin with, but I definitely am not about to feel sorry for you when you sit here and lie and say that this woman has the personality that you want. She has been breaking you down since the honeymoon. What exactly about her personality screams, man, gotta have this for the rest of my life? In that rocking chair, I'm gonna look at Michelle and that's the personality that I want. What are you talking about, David? See, one thing that I can respect about Michelle is that she does keep it real. David is playing Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Good Guy. And he wants all of her friends to like him and say to Michelle, girl, he's a catch. Girl, how could you not like David? He's so nice. David, I have no doubt in my mind that you are a nice guy. I do not. but I also think that you are playing it up for the cameras. This woman does not have a personality that anybody could love but her mama. Child, please. Moving forward. Now, I could tell that she was happy to show off this part of her lifestyle. So, I guess, she ain't stopped smiling since she walked through the eyebrow place, honey. If you don't get her to put some wax on there and clean up that brow. Camille and Swaggy T. So she walks in. He has a romantic setup for her, honey, because when she stretched out that hamstring, that did something to him. He said, you know what? I'm going to stretch her out tonight. Baby Thomas said, I'm going to stretch her out tonight, honey. I know that's right. So she comes walking in, and he wants to give her a massage. Oh, Thomas, that's so sweet. Now, he had the rose petals down on the floor the same way he did down in Mexico. Camille, if you go in there and put on that purple moo-moo, I'm going to jump through this TV. Girl, don't you put them clothes on. Go in there and take yourself a shower, get yourself all zhuzhed up, and come on out and be happy for this man. So she gets in the confessional and she says, you know what? I've never had anyone do anything like this for me before. Girl, that's because you've been dating Pookie and them. Mr. Rogers ain't looking too bad now, is he? The men with swag were probably using your car to run to the store and buy a pack of cigs. The Benson and Hedges menthol lights, honey. But now you got a nice man, and he's a little bit buttoned up and can be a little bit boring at times, but it's all about the longevity. He is the only husband that has tried to romance their wife. Juan is getting lost in David's eyes, and Alan is trying to find Madison in the daytime with a flashlight because she's trying to lose him at that bar. He's pumping iron within an inch of his damn life. Let this man love you. Let him love you. You should let him love you. Let him be the one to give you everything you want and need. Shout out to Mario. Girl, let the man love you. Moving forward. Baby Thomas put it on her. Do you hear me? He gonna put it down. She gonna fall in love. Baby, he was happy to take her into that room. She said, okay, well, we might as well just see what it's gonna do. Okay, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So, baby, they go in the room. He was kissing her down her back, her neck. And I was like, oh, my neck, my back. Baby, he was kissing her everywhere. Now, I would have liked her to have bathed first. But hey, okay, they're about to go to Pound Town. So I'll see y'all when y'all get back. Thomas, now, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Let me give you some tips. Give it all you got. And not too much of that talking because you don't want to ruin it. Okay? Get in there like swimwear and hit it out of the park. Day 23 of marriage. Juan and Carla. So they're out to dinner. Side note, baby, these onion rings look so good. I love an onion ring down. Do you hear me? I just love onions. I know people try to steer away from them because they make your breath smell and all that. Baby, extra onion me. Okay, and we're going to figure the rest out later. And them onion rings looked so good. I said, where's this restaurant? Because I plan on visiting Chicago soon. I'm going to have to rewind that episode and find out what restaurant they were at just to go there for those onion rings. Now, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. But the onion rings looked really good. Moving forward. So Carla is sitting here talking to Juan about how conversations with her family lacked substance because of her background. They didn't grow up like that. Now, while she's saying all of these things and really letting him in and letting him know why she feels the way she feels about communication and words of affirmation, Juan is tearing that food up. Do you hear me? When they pan that camera back over to that plate, there was one onion ring left. I said, dang, how long she been talking? What is going on? She's telling him that her lack of communication comes from how she grew up. Her family didn't communicate when they were upset. They would just get mad and, feel like somebody had hurt their feelings, but they never really talked about it. And they also never really showed affection. So her explaining this, when I was listening to her, it sounds very similar to how I grew up. And it really can affect the way you show up in relationships, because in my family, we just brush things under the rug and then just show up the next time talking. That's not healthy at all. And I have learned to break away from that cycle and let people know, you owe me an apology. You overstepped a boundary. You will not treat me this way. You're not allowed to treat me this way. Okay. And I think that for a family that's not used to hearing that, yeah, it could cause a little friction, but what you gonna do? You can't beat me up. What you gonna do? Okay. Not nothing. So she says she wanted him to know that that's why she wants affection. He then says, yeah, I'm just not there yet. Like, you got to have to be patient with me. One, please. If you wanted to, you would. You're not there yet, but you can continuously tell us about your 2 startups. Boy, bye. Michelle and David. So they're going bowling and they're meeting up with David's bowling buddies. And she's being okay, I guess, when they first walk in. You know, I guess she's trying to make a good impression for 5 seconds. At least she's actually letting him bowl in the same lane as a child. Because I just knew she was going to put him in a separate lane. She can't stand this man. She cannot stand him. So at least they were in the same lane, child. So they start playing, right? And she's telling his friends that David is a great guy. He's very respectful. And they want to know how open-minded she is. She says, oh, I'm very open-minded. I'm so confused. This episode should have been called Opposite Day. Because everything they were saying was the exact opposite. Girl, when have you been open-minded? The mind been closed and sewn up since you walked down the aisle. When were you open-minded, Michelle? What's going on? So as she's sitting there talking to these friends, she brings up David cussing like a sailor. And even her mom brought up the fact that he cussed in front of her. And she was very embarrassed. Now, I have to say this. I know that we're all adults, but I agree with the swearing. It's a lack of respect. Don't be cussing in front of my mama. Just don't do that. I'm sorry. That's something that I wouldn't like either. But it's the way that she goes on and on and on about other things on top of that. She's dogpiling. Okay, I don't like the fact that you use cuss words. I don't want you cussing in front of my mama. But then she went on and on and on and on and on and on. And as she's going on about all the things that she doesn't like about David, David didn't like that. He started getting a little upset. I said, oh, okay. So you were fine with everything else. But her talking about you cussing, that's where you draw the line. Interesting. Now, he said he feels like he's a punching bag at this point. Sir, you're just now feeling like that? She been hitting you with the Mike Tyson 1-2 punch since the honeymoon. But you're just now feeling like a punching bag. Now, you could clearly see it was written all over his face that he was getting upset. But he quickly shifted gears like everything was fine. His friend said, oh, okay, well, if he's cussing, then we can change that. His friend said, you know, I'm a little bit shocked that you're not head over heels for him. She is not. She is not. She been down in that basement and she don't want nothing to do with it. Okay. And Michelle, I think it's very disrespectful for you to go to this man's friends and tell them all the things that you hate about David. He didn't do that to you when he went down there and got them awful brows. Now, did he? He did not. So the least that you could do is say, you know, we have some differences and there are some things that we could work through. And I'm not completely sold on some of the things that he does, but he's an awesome guy. He's a great guy. That's all you had to say. Well, no, he does this and that and this and that. Girl, bye. Moving forward. If Michelle don't do nothing else, she is going to make sure that she embarrasses and belittles David so that he doesn't get any bright ideas. She is going to make sure that it's known, girl, sir, I don't like you. Okay. And don't get any ideas. He needs to keep it real and let her know if she doesn't like him, then go. Okay. Y'all can just stop now and wait for decision day, because for me, it's tiring at this point. It's old. I don't like repetitive stuff. You said one time, I get it. I don't want to hear this. We are on episode, what, 9, 10? What episode is this, child? Because, I mean, we're on episode 9. There is no reason that for over 2 months, I have heard Michelle say, I don't like David. I don't like David. I don't like David. I don't like David in 59 different octaves. I don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't. Madison and Alan. So they're on their way to see Dr. Pia. Let me tell y'all something. Save yourself the gas. No sex will be had no matter how many homework assignments that Dr. Pia gives you. So you might as well turn around, park your hoopty back in the garage. David, Alan, go and park your hoopty back in the garage, honey, because you ain't getting none. So they get there. And Madison is telling her that they're living together well, but there are some things that they need to work on. So Dr. Pia brings up the bar situation because, you know, they hear everything. She's like, why did the two of you leave separately? And why didn't you text each other? Alan said, well, since she ignored me, you know, I took off in my Jaguar and I went on about my business. Because one thing you will not do is act like you want to be with your friends and then wait for me at the end of the night. Absolutely not. He said he's used to certain cues. If he's with a woman and she looks at him a certain way, he knows she has to go potty. But then she'll come back and say, okay, babe, let's go over here. Let's go to the bar. Let's get a drink. But at the end of the night, they will leave together. Madison, not so much. Now, she blamed it on her being rusty as far as relationships are concerned. Madison, you're going to have to come up with something better than that. Okay? She's like, yeah, other people that I've been in relationships with have said the same thing about me as well. So then Dr. Pia said, oh, okay, so it seems like you put everybody before your relationships. Is that right? Like, what do you need in order to prioritize Alan? She gonna say, I mean, I need him to compliment me a little bit more. Okay, so now you're just coming up with anything. because the man has been drooling over you since you walked down the aisle, and you know that he's attracted to you. Alan ain't never seen a gym like he's seen a gym since he saw you. So I don't know what you're talking about here. You're just coming up with anything and grasping for straws because you know this man likes you and you know he's attracted to you. He said, well, I do tell you, you look nice. She said, look nice. That's for grandmas. Like, I want you to tell me I'm beautiful. Madison, I have a question for you. When have you complimented Alan? You said his clothes were fugly and you're not too keen on his face either. Then your sister, with all her poorly executed makeup, sat right in front of him and said that you liked a pretty boy. Then you got in front of him and told him if he don't burn them damn 4 or 5 food group drawers he likes to wear, then you don't want anything to do with that either. So when have you complimented Alan? When? And Alan has said to you, I want us to spend more time together. I don't want us to get too routine, just doing the same thing over and over. And you said, yeah, for sure. Girl, you don't like this man. Moving forward. So Dr. Pia wants them to play a game to get to know each other better. You know, she's trying to get the mojo going, honey, get their motor running. It ain't gonna happen, okay? They ain't gonna be able to start that car. Camille and Swaggy T. So she goes to visit them, Dr. Pia that is, and they let her know that they consummated the marriage. Thomas must have done well, honey, because she said it helped bridge the gap. I said, okay, bridging. Okay, bridging the gap. Thomas was just a grinning. I said, look at him. He done turned that frown upside down. I know that's right, Thomas. Camille is talking about how she likes whips and chains and she really likes to get into it, honey. She is all about the freaky deaky. So Dr. Pia wants to know what this is and what do they need in order to feel loved. Thomas says that he puts a lot of weight on the word love. And I'm the same way. I think people use that word too loosely. So if I say I love you, I really, really love you. It's not just me saying it. I have a thing with like even strangers saying, you know, I love you, because you really need to mean that when you say it. So I don't just throw that word around. So I could relate to that. Dr. Pia said to him, like, what are you afraid of in regards to love? He said that the person would be gone. You know, you would tell them that you love them and then they just up and leave. So it's important to tell people that you love them while they're still there. He starts to get emotional. And I don't know if this was about his dad, because I felt like that was part of it. But then he said he feels lucky to be there because he was a certain way in his past relationships and he doesn't feel like he deserves to be there in a relationship and in a marriage. I said, exactly what did you do in these past relationships, Swaggy T? Let me find out. Now, I don't know. But I still feel like Camille is disconnected a little, because when Dr. Pia was like, so how do you feel about that? She really wasn't saying much. I don't know. I just feel like she's still disconnected. He's really into making this work. And she just always seems like she's like, yeah, I hear him. Yeah, I can relate. Oh, okay, great. It's just not giving anything. Day 25 of marriage. Emem and Ikechi. So, baby, we see her in her little cam by herself, and she's telling us they went to dinner and things went left. She says to him, well, what did you do to prepare for marriage? He proceeds to raise his voice in the middle of the damn restaurant, so much so that she had to tell him it was time to go. Now, she's confused as to how it got there. Girl, I'm not confused. He didn't like being challenged by your people. That's number one. And he also didn't like being challenged by your place. That's number two. And he already didn't halfway like you. And you could tell that at the honeymoon, because when you went all out to make sure that you had a spread for y'all at breakfast, he didn't even say thank you. So it's just a culmination of things, and they're happening one after the other. But refuge didn't help, okay, at all. Moving forward. So that, coupled with your place and him being an opportunist, he's pissed. And not him being aggressive out in public. Child, this is a fool. Girl, no further conversations need to be had. Cut your losses and go this way. Carla and Juan. So Dr. Pia is meeting with them, and she brings up Juan not meeting Carla's parents. Carla has some type of excuse, but really and truly, this ain't gonna work. Juan doesn't care if he meets her family or not, because he doesn't like Carla for real. He's just there to talk about that app and try to get people together in the airport. That's it. So Dr. Pia wants to know, do you guys feel like you're in a marriage? Dr. Pia, the short answer is no. Now, Juan said, you know, I feel like we're just hanging out, or I don't know what we're doing. Carla, she doesn't feel like they're in a marriage either. Juan says, you know, I'm just not there yet. So then Dr. Pia says, where is there? He said, I don't know. I just don't feel the chemistry. The physical attraction isn't there. And again, I can respect that. If you want to tell us that the physical attraction isn't there, fine. He said that he just does not feel it. Now, me personally, I feel like he's more physically attracted to David and his man bun than he is to Carla. But that's just me. So Carla then says, well, I mean, if you're not, then that's the answer. Because if you're not physically attracted to me, then I mean, what are we really doing? Listen, let me tell you something. I could not sit up and listen to a man continue to say to me that he isn't there yet. He's a yet lie, and he ain't gonna get there. That's like when you take a little kid on a road trip. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? If you don't know, I'm not gonna keep repeating, are we there yet? I'm not. If you don't know that we're there and you don't know where there is, then you can go that way. Child, please. Moving forward. How are you creating an app to bring strangers together in an airport, but it's taking you 40 days and 40 nights to even look at your wife? All this later down the road stuff is some BS. You're either in or you're out. And I also don't mind the spice that Carla was given because Dr. Pia said, ooh, I'm sensing some spice. Some spice needs to be sensed. Okay, she is not like the rest of them. She is not about to let one play in her face. Baby, she gonna be banging them sound bowls while he's sleeping. Baby, Carla gonna have that whole place up at night. I'm telling you right now, I respect Carla because everybody else is trying to play nice. If you tell me you're not physically attracted to me, I am not going to waste my time, and I might be a little bit spicy as well. Camille and Swaggy T. Oh, baby, they matching now. I said, oh, okay. Thomas worked that magic stick. But why are they playing a song about swag as they're walking into this store? I said, Lifetime cannot be taken seriously. So they go into this jewelry store. She's taking him there to go get some earrings because his ears are pierced. And he said, you know, I like earrings. And so she taking him there to play and dress up. They put a chain on Thomas. I said, okay, Swaggy T. Camille's still talking about, yeah, it went up a few notches on the swagometer. Girl, please throw the meter away. Throw the meter away. Okay, don't put no more change in the meter. Throw the damn meter away. Please throw the meter away. Baby, she done dressed Thomas up like the typical bum you meet on Plenty of Fish. Child, this is a mess. She done dressed Thomas just to her liking. I mean, he was giving D-boy until he started talking. I said, oh, child, and we're back. Because you could just look at him. If you saw Thomas in the mall, he had his chain on, his earrings, and his watch, and he looked like he getting ready to ruin your life. But then he opens his mouth, and then you're like, oh, okay, on second thought, I guess I was wrong. Now, he did look nice in the jewelry, I'm not going to lie. But he doesn't need that. Camille, please. Somebody should take you somewhere and get you dressed up. Because, honey, it ain't giving what you think it's giving. I feel like Thomas is the best of both worlds. He's sweet and he's flexible. He's willing to let Camille have her way. But at the end of the day, Thomas is going to be Thomas. And you got to love a man that's going to be himself. Especially if he's nice. So just leave him alone, girl. Emem and Ikechi. So, baby, they going to meet with Dr. Pia. Now, y'all got to come closer, honey, because I know y'all ain't been watching. So let me tell you what went down. They going to meet with Dr. Pia. He comes walking in like he don't even want to be there. Backpack on his back, mouth all twisted to the side, beanie on cocked to the side. Dr. Pia said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. And I'm tired too of you. So let's go ahead and get into it. He sits down. Dr. Pia said, oh, so no sitting next to your wife? He said, I'm choosing to take a seat. Well, baby, what'd he say that for? Dr. Pia was like, let me tell you something. Now, you can have that attitude with him all day because she looking for a man. But, baby, I don't want you. And therefore, and thus and such, you will respect me. She said, listen, can we just keep our attitudes in check and just be nice to each other and try not to talk to each other negatively? Like, she really was trying to get him to get himself together because I could tell she was about to snap. That's the one thing that I like about Dr. Pia. She does not take mess from anybody. And it's a certain look that she gives that lets you know that she does not play. Sassy Pants was having a tantrum, honey. Ooh, he was mad. So he sits down. He's mad that Emem wants to get to know him, I guess. He doesn't want her saying anything to him. Dr. Pia tells him, well, the questions, they help you all get to know each other. Well, baby, what'd she say that for? This is what Emem said. She said she feels like the questions are healthy. He said those weren't the questions. So then he says, you know what? I said that I wasn't going to say certain things and I wasn't going to bring up certain things that we've talked about in private. So Dr. Pia looks to her and she says, is there an issue with him bringing up things that y'all talked about in private? She said, no, let him bring it up. So then he says, well, it's about sex. Sir, we're not in the 12th grade. Say what you're going to say. She wants to know, when are we having sex? When are we going to do it? He said, I said no. I told her I'm not having the sex until I know her mentally and physically and emotionally. How are you getting to know her if she cannot say anything to you outside of hi, my name is Emem? What can she say to you to get to know you? So then he says, she initiated it. And then I said no. And then she started acting funny. And I was like, why are you going to be walking around the house giving me the silent treatment like you got an attitude? So then she tells me that she didn't like the fact that I called her aggressive. Now, he basically said Emem is aggressive and treats him like a piece of meat. And she's crossing his boundaries and trying to get to him without his consent. Y'all, I had to get up and walk around because those are huge allegations. Okay, so now this is just me. For me, there is no coming back from this. He has basically made her out to be a sexual predator. The way that he was wording this, if they were in the court of law, she would be locked up. Okay, she would be locked up. It's just certain things I don't play with. And that's one of them. So for me, I just wouldn't be able to move forward, honey, because I very highly doubt that she didn't respect his wishes. I just can't see her overstepping his boundaries like that. That honey pack told me all I needed to know. So I don't even know why she passed go or collected $200. I would have gotten up and excused myself. But that's just me. Ma'am, you have a lot to lose. I am speaking directly to you. Whatever is going on in the shared apartment, he is saying that you are being overly aggressive because you want to have sex with his little peanut head self and he don't want it. Okay, no matter how you throw it, he's not going to catch it. So Dr. Pia went to Emem because she wants to know her side. She said, well, I feel like I'm getting mixed signals because on the honeymoon, he placed my hand on his nether regions. Not me. He did that. That was the first initiation of physical touch, and that was not by me. Then when we got home, I tried to touch him again, and now it's no. I want to, and she said, I just wanted to know why. And he gonna say, well, I mean, because I didn't know her. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I was telling y'all about when they were on their honeymoon and he was putting on an act. You didn't know her at all on that honeymoon. You know her a little bit better than you did then when you were sitting in front of the entire group trying to make best couple. This is not school. There's no yearbook. There's no best dressed, most likely to succeed. There's none of that. You sat in front of all those couples. I'm ready for the duck off. I'm ready for us to get a little alone time. You did all that. And now here you are talking about, I don't know her. And the whole reason why you don't know her is because you saw that apartment. I don't care how they try to slice it and dice it. I don't care what they try to say. The reason why he is treating her the way that he is because of how she's living. She has her stuff together. She's a very strong-willed woman and she has a lot going for her. And he doesn't like that. He thought somebody coming on this show was bound to need some type of help, but she doesn't need it. We could all use something, but it's not what he thought it was going to be. I'm sorry. So then he switched it and said, well, it was her trying to kiss me. So Dr. Pia brings up, she said, well, maybe it's just a difference of personalities, right? Because she's trying to help. This man says, well, I'm from the South and I'm just not used to people trying to have sex with me and I don't know them. What South is this you speak of? What South is it? I don't know why you keep comparing the South to Chicago when you decided to follow the cameras to Chicago. You thought they were going to implant a Southern girl for you? Oh, Ikechi, please don't piss me off. I'm sorry. I could not go back to square one with him. I just couldn't. Dr. Pia wanted to know if they want to get back to a place where they can enjoy each other and get to know each other again. And she said yes. Emem, what is going on? Where is the self-esteem? Huh? I don't understand it, honey. I could not go back to square one as a black professional. You call me an aggressive predator and I'm supposed to go back to getting to know you? No, ma'am. Absolutely not. Moving forward. He's like, yeah, I want to get to know her. How can you get to know her if she can't pose questions? What are you talking about? If I can never say to you, hey, so what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What do you like to? Oh, you're aggressive. No, I'm not about to be tiptoeing around nobody and trying to. You are dangerous. I don't care. Y'all can say I'm being dramatic all you want to. Baby, it's giving dangerous minds. I don't trust it. Michelle Pfeiffer, you got to go. Moving forward. I am not going to, let me just say this. I'm not going to negate the fact that he has his feelings. Okay? Because I wasn't there. I'm just saying. But I feel like He just does not like this woman as a person. So no matter what she does, it will be a problem. I wasn't there. I don't know what he went through. He probably very well felt that she was crossing boundaries and doing things without his consent and being a little bit too much, especially when he doesn't like her. But you will always find a problem because you don't like her. And that's just that on that. Michelle and David. So, baby, she's still complaining. She said David is basically into chicken strips and fries and he eat the same thing every day. And she's not going back to the simple life. Nicole Richie, please. Okay, nobody's trying to take you back to the simple life. You are just coming up with excuses. We get it, girl. He's not trying to take you down into that basement. If he wanted to take you to his lair, he would. So Dr. Pia is wondering how she got to where she is now. She said, I just up and moved. I networked. I got friends and I'm here now. So then Dr. Pia said, well, what if your friends shunned you because you were from a small town? She's like, yeah, because I came here in my 20s. She said, no, that's not what I'm saying. What if they said to you, you can't sit with us? You're from a small town. Then what? She said, well, no, I'm just saying. He keeps saying like he can be a provider and everything. And I don't think that he can be. Let me tell you something. They should have given her to Alan. Because whatever it is that she thinks about his finances until they actually have a conversation, everybody's making assumptions and nobody is talking to each other. If you want to know if he got a little coinage, say, hey, do you have a pot to piss in? I know you ain't got a window to throw it out of, but do you have a pot to piss in? Just say that. Alan and Madison. So they're about to play this adult Twister game. Has Twister always been that small? I was looking at that mat and it seemed so much bigger when we were younger, but I was looking at it and I was like, oh, they ain't got no room on that mat. And as they were playing this game, I was thinking if the liquor didn't make them do it, this Twister show ain't. So the first question is favorite sexual position. Alan said reverse cowgirl or just cowgirl. Oh, okay, honey. He like a ride. The second one, how much foreplay do you need? A lot. The third question, what's one thing that gets you hot and bothered? Alan said when the woman gets out of the shower and drops the towel and says, come on, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. That's what gets his motor running. Now, of course, Alan is laying it on thick. He's saying all kinds of nice things to Madison. Then they said, whisper something naughty in your partner's ear. And she said, I'm not wearing any panties. Oh, child. Girl, you gonna cut that cooch all up. Girl, you better be careful with that right hand on red. Because, baby, that's gonna be something you ain't gonna never have felt before in your life, child. This is a mess. So then it said something about make a sexual noise. Alan was like, I don't moan. Alan, not you being a silent partner. Absolutely not, honey. No, sir. Some of us ladies, we like to hear it, honey. We want to know if we're pleasuring you as well. Not you just sitting on mute. Everybody on mute. Okay, no, thank you. Next one. Have you thought about your partner in a sexual way? She thought about it for a minute and she says, yeah. He said, oh, really? Alan, don't get your hopes up. Easy there, killer. I think that's more so I wonder what Alan is capable of. Not I want to jump Alan's bones. Okay, so don't get too excited because I don't think she was thinking of you in that way. I'm just saying. Baby, Alan was having the time of his life. Do you hear me? Baby, this was the best game he had ever played. Madison was acting like Alan never compliments her. Girl, stop. Okay, you would hear him complimenting you if you weren't down to that damn gym 24 hours a day and 7 days a week trying to sneak up there and meet David, and y'all ain't fooling me. Day 26 of marriage, Juan and Carla. So they're at home. He's making some chicken and veggies. He wants to know when she started doing hair and how was she in school. She wants to know how his childhood was. He said his family moved a lot. He played soccer. Then at 18, he got scouted to be a model. And he did that until the age of 26. I feel like these two are just talking like friends. Whenever Juan is talking to Carla, he's looking through her and past her and over her. And it just is nothing. Okay. She's talking about her business and he's telling her, you know, it's going to be pretty hard as an entrepreneur. I'm telling you as one myself. Okay. Congratulations, Juan. You should have went on Shark Tank. Not Married at First Sight. Okay. And take Ikechi with you. I don't get anything from Juan and Carla. He's still not attracted. He's not there yet. She's still saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? We are not. Emem and Ikechi. So she's at work and he comes to her practice. This is not Married to Medicine. I would never introduce this man as my husband. She was like, this is my husband, Ikechi. Oh, girl, you just aren't thinking. And also, I may need your services. Because, girl, I was looking, I said, oh, I didn't know she did that. I might need your services, child. Follow up in my DMs. So she's showing him what she does. And of course, he's not impressed. Okay, he acting like it's no big deal. I can't stand him. I just can't. Well, I mean, looks like it hurts, but if she likes it, that's really all that matters. I said, ugh. I don't even know how your juices could get flowing for a man that speaks and behaves the way that Ikechi does. How? Baby, when I tell you I will be the Sahara Desert, and after the client leaves, they sit down, he tells her, listen, I wasn't trying to embarrass you. I just wanted you to know how I felt. You were not trying to embarrass her? Honey, you could have fooled the hell out of me. She told him, well, you know what? I'm just going to let you take the lead because I don't even know how I'm supposed to move now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This is the quickest mask drop ever. I have never seen someone, well, you know what, Chris, season 12, of all the black queens and the Asian queens and the white queens, you give me Paige? I'm never going to forget that. When I say never, I do mean never. Oh, child. But this right here, this might be a close second. He said, yeah, you know, I don't want the sex of it all. The sex ain't it. She said, okay, so how do I get to know you better? By leaving him alone? This is painful to watch. It really is. The man clearly cannot stand you. He doesn't like anything about you. And I'm sorry, there will be no conversation after you accuse me of trying to sexually assault you. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't be able to do that. I will be walking on eggshells around you, and I don't like feeling like that. She got to wait till he's in the mood, and if he isn't, then she's being aggressive, and ain't no telling what he might say in front of mixed company. I don't like that. I don't like that for you, I don't. There's no reason why you should continue talking to him. Girl, cut your losses now. And Ikechi, why are you always wearing this hitchhiking cross-country backpack? Why? Why do you have this backpack on everywhere you go? Do you not have a home? Like, why are you wearing this backpack all over the place? I know you be down to the schoolhouse, honey, but how did you get here today? Is there a car? Is there somewhere you can leave this? Is there a trunk? Like, what is happening with you? David and Michelle. So they're at the shared apartment waiting for Dr. Pia, and then she arrives. Hey, girl. David is telling her things are going good and the conversations are everything he wanted. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all see this? When he was just down at the bowling alley with something totally different. David, quit being fake. She just pissed you off and embarrassed you in front of your bowling buddies. Keep that same energy. It's okay to say that. I think she might respect you more if you said that. If you say, you know, she pissed me off trying to embarrass me in front of my friends about me cussing. I'm a grown man. There are some things that I could change, and I feel like I did disrespect her mom by cussing in front of her. And for that, I am sorry. But it's every day, always something. Say it. Stop getting in front of people and acting like everything is peachy keen, because it's not. So then Dr. Pia wants to show them why they were matched, because Michelle is getting on her central nervous system. So then she rolled that beautiful bean footage and she said, so do you guys see? Now, let me tell you this. The tape rolled, and the only thing that she had that David asked for is being real. Anything else? Nothing. Okay. Oh, and the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Other than that, no. So then Dr. Pia said, you asked for David. He said, yeah, she described me to a T. Michelle said, yeah, I see where this is about to go. I'm finna get annoyed. Like, I'm finna get attitude. You mad because they pulled out the receipts. You wanted a David and you got a David. She is annoyed because she thinks Dr. Pia is going to call her out. So then David excuses himself, and Michelle told her that, look, I just don't have a connection with him. Now, I'm going to say this. For me, I would be annoyed too, because just because I have a certain way that I answered something, that doesn't mean that we should continue. I still don't like the person I matched with. Yes, I did say I wanted this, that, and this and that, but I don't like him. And I'm just trying to figure out why force it. Because really, in the end, it just hurts the other person. Nobody wants to feel like an option or, you know, or a burden. He's some kind of obligation until you're just there so you don't get fined. Nobody wants to feel like that. So after they get through having this conversation, David comes back in. And Michelle is saying, going back to the simple life, as he called it, that's not going to work for her. Ma'am, he's not going to move you into the basement. Please chill. Please chill. You should have led with, when you sat down with the experts or in the matching thing or whatever it was, you should have said, listen, I need him to make at least 6 figures. I have a lifestyle. Because this is getting on my nerves. He's a simple guy. And I think that Michelle feels like David will maybe want her to curb her way of being. Like Dr. Pia said, he's not trying to change you. He's not. If you want to spend $5 million on a remote, spend $5 million on a remote. By all means, keep your lifestyle. He just trying to find somewhere else to lay besides next to that washing machine. And that's just that on that. But I don't like Dr. Pia trying to force them to have a connection. She don't like him and he really don't like her, but he wants us to believe that he likes her and that he's this nice guy, and neither one of them are fooling me. And y'all both can go away. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below. Tell me exactly what you thought about this. Baby, let me tell you something. Ikechi is going from bad to worse. And when he said that that lady was overstepping and crossing boundaries and going around his consent, and this woman is a nurse practitioner with clients that are recognizing her on this show, baby, he could ruin her. I don't think people realize the severity and the weight that their words hold. Last week she was aggressive. This week she a predator. What's she gonna be next week? Baby, next week she gonna be pissed. Did y'all see the way she got up from that table? Baby, she said, you want to see a clown? Oh, baby, this is gonna be a mess. Let me tell you something. So next week is Christmas. Okay, happy holidays to everybody. Wednesday is Christmas. Man, it came in like 2 minutes, didn't it? So the review, I don't know if it's going to be on time or if it's even going to come on, because that will be Christmas Eve, and that is a day for my baby. So I'm not sure if the review will come out on time if the show happens to air on Christmas Eve. We'll play it by ear, but just check back and see when the review will be out, okay? But I'm thinking it's probably going to be out on Thursday or Friday if it does air on Christmas Eve, because like I said, that's a day for family, and then Christmas is the next day. So happy holidays to everybody that's listening. I hope you have the best one ever. Comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.